Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Wednesday, the 4th day of February, 2026. So we're going to go over Synthetic Divergence today, TV trade stuff, 100 range, all the ranges, and other stuff too. Let me start this at the beginning because I always forget. If you haven't taken a trial and you want to take a trial, go to tvtrades.com, tv-trades.com, sign up for the trial here, okay? You can also do it here at targetviewtrades.com if you want a little more in-depth look into some of the things that we've done. Go to targetviewtrades.com. You can there's a bunch of tabs up here. You can go get a bunch of information. This page here is more just information about what you get when you sign up. tvtrades.com, sign up for the trial there. You can also sign up for it here. You have a 3-day trial right here. You can click on that and it'll bring you down to someplace down here. It's all the same money. It's all the same thing. All goes to the same place. Alright, so my big thing today. I've been working on this for a couple of weeks, as you guys know, and you don't even have to have the swing bands on there for this. What I'm going to show you right now. You see, I have this is a NQ, and it's on a 5-minute, but I'm going to put it on a 100 range for right now. So every bar is 100 ticks high. Okay, every bar is 100 ticks. Now, the divergence thing is to show you an immediate reversal. Okay, like the stuff that we have, like everything is really to show you the immediate reversal points. So get you in here, get you in here, and get you out up there. Get you in here and get you out down here, or down here, or down here, and get you back in going in the other direction. But the divergence thing is just a little bit different. And the way that I implemented it, I stuck it right inside your TV Trades range trigger. Okay, so you just put on your TV Trades range trigger like that, and it's going to show up on the bottom. Right? It looks just like it normally does. That's the default is still the default. Okay. Now, once you get that open, you're going to have to put your password in. See, this is the new line right here, display synthetic divergence line. And if you hover over the tooltip, it tells you to set the TVT R snipe to step line for easier identification. Okay, that is right here. The TVT R snipe is right here. The TVT R snipe. This is how you set it to step line. You click on that and choose step line, right? And that changes it like that, right? So the new thing is this here, display synthetic divergence line. That is not going to work until you put the password in. And this is the line on this side, so you can change the color of it right here. All right, if you don't like red, you can change it to black or whatever. You do it right here, okay? But over here, you have to put in your password. And if you guys don't know what the password is, it was emailed to you when you signed up. And you can just get in touch with me and I'll tell you what the password is. But it was emailed to you when you signed up. The email that goes out to you as soon as you sign up gives you the password. Okay. And we haven't changed it in a while. So if you knew what it was a month ago, you still know what it is. If you knew what it was 2 months ago, you still know what it is. It's a pain in the neck when I change it because nobody... The thing that's really odd about all of this is that the people who pay for the annual are the people who don't open their emails and find out what the password is until they can't get their indicators working because they don't know what the password is. That's what I found. A lot of the people who pay for the annual subscription, they're the ones that never look at their password. And usually when I send it out, I send out like 5 emails letting you know that the password has changed, the password has changed, the password has changed. And that's why I don't change it very often. Anyway. So what we're looking for, I'm going to change it back to red, okay? What we're looking for down here is really simple. This is exactly what we're looking for. This. Alright, but wait, there's one more thing I got to put in here. The cover. Now, I created a video about all this. I mean, you'll have this video, but this one's going to be an hour and a half long. If you want a short video, I created a 3-minute video about this. That is in the Telegram channel. In the Telegram channel, I just put the link to in here a couple of minutes ago. I can put it again right now. Your system works in higher time frames. I will, Tanya. Well, I'm on 100 range right now, Tanya. But here's the link to the Telegram channel. This is an open Telegram channel, open to the public, so anybody can get in there. And when you get in, you got to click join channel down at the bottom if you want to get notified when something new is happening. But I made this video. This video is only 3 minutes long. You can watch this video and it goes over everything that I'm going over right now for you. Okay? This video right here. It's in the TV Trades Telegram channel. right? And I gave you the link to sign up for that. And so the other thing you have to do is just click cover right here. Now, this is not what the cover should look like. Well, this is when you do it, when you put in the password and everything for the one you have, it's going to go to this is going to go down to 20%. By default, it's at 20% now. So what I like to see is this. This is exactly. Let's just move this off, right? So I can just show you what I like to see, and I'll show you on longs and shorts. Okay. This right here would be one. You would buy the open of the next bar right here. It's happening right now. You buy the open of the next bar right there. And this is 100 range, Tanya. This is 100 range, so this is a larger time frame. But I'll show you also it works on like the 5-minute and everything else too. But you see how that's going through right there, and it comes out of the cover. I want it to come out of the cover. It doesn't have to hit the outer band like that, but it has to come out of the cover. So this one right here, you would buy the open of the next bar, right? On that one right there, buy the open of the next bar. On this one right here, you would sell the open of the next bar. That's what you want to see. That right there. That one didn't quite, well, just barely made it out of the cover. I'll still mark that one. You'd sell the open of that bar. You see how that one didn't go through it? It all didn't go through the step line at all on the way out. I don't like those. This one right here, sell the open of the next bar. This is a little bit messy the way this one went right here, but if you were looking at it, let's trying to find it. Let me just go and create something here. Notepad. Notepad. Okay, here's a notepad. So if you were looking at it like this, right, and you only see one bar happening at a time, right there. I mean, you could do that. You could buy the open of the next bar right there, because it did make it through the cover and it did go through the step line. You know, that's something you could do. But as you keep going through bar by bar, right there, it went through the step line, and at the same time, it made it out of the cover, just barely right there. So both of those are actual trades right there, that one and that one. So I'll mark them both, and we can go look at them in a minute. Okay. So that was one, and then this one was the other. Now, what I want to suggest is you got to be careful you don't overtrade, and that's where the mid bands and stuff like that come in. Let me bring that notepad back up, and we can go through it again little by little like this. Okay, so that didn't hit the step line at all when it went through. Okay, that didn't really either right there. So I'm going through. That just barely did, so that's one right there. Okay. That hit it when it went through the cover right there. And that hit it. I mean, I just do it without the other thing. That hit it, came out of the cover. That hit it and came out of the cover. That didn't. That didn't. That didn't. That didn't. That one right there did. Okay, you see what I'm looking for, right? It goes through the corner of the step line, like this one right here did. Now this is a 100 range bar, so this, I don't know where this bar is right now as far as closing, but you would buy the open of the next bar. Jeff, I gave everybody. I'm gonna do it all, Sid. Okay, he wants me to blow it up and show a shorter time frame, and I will. I'll do it all. Okay, I'm gonna show larger time frames and shorter time frames. We have time. Jeff, that link that I stuck in here, this one right here, I'll send it privately to you. Click on that. That's how you get into it. Well, you'll see, Tanya, on a 100 range bar, you know, you don't need to use a whole 100 really. You know, you could use probably 75 by 100 for 100 range. And you'll see when we look at all these things here that most of them turn as soon as the next bar opens. Most of them turn immediately. Okay, the question was, what are the P&Ls for this setup? So what's the stop and profit target is what the question was. Okay, and so I mean, we'll just look at this stuff right here. I mean, I don't know what the market actually did here. You know, we can look back a couple more too. Go back here and just look at a couple more. Here, I don't know what the market actually did, but this is ideal right here. This is the kind that I really like right there. Okay, that one right there is what I really like. There's not a bunch of them there. This one right here would be one. I don't really like that because you see how that's outside the cover? I don't really like that. I don't like those when they're outside the cover. This right here would be okay. Where the step line stays inside the cover. That's what I like. Okay, where the step line stays inside the cover. This right here would be one. The step line stayed inside the cover. This didn't hit it right there. That probably worked out just fine, but it didn't hit it right there. Okay, so there's a few more, and we'll go back and look at that. That's it. 1150. This is all today. Okay, these are all trades that triggered today. And this is the one that we just drew a minute ago, right? When it got down there, I said to buy the open of the next bar. So let's go see. He would have bought the open of that bar right there at 985.25, and it's already run up to 225. Okay, so it's already run the full 100 ticks and then some. Hal, yes, I did, but I'll type it in for you right here, so you don't have to go search for it. There you go. This is a new tool mark. Okay, I'm just showing you how to use it. But this right here, I highlighted that at the beginning of the session. I said we'd buy the open of the next bar. So right there, Tanya, if you had your 75 by 100 bracket, you would have gotten 100 right there. Or if you had a 100 by 100 bracket, you would have gotten 100 right there. Okay. And all these other ones, right here, you would have bought the open of the next bar, right there. Bought the open of the next bar. You wouldn't need much stop at all on that. Here, you would have sold the open of the next bar, right there. You wouldn't need much stop on that. Here, you would have sold the open of the next bar. You wouldn't need much stop on that. Sold the open of the next bar. Not much stop on that. Bought the open of the next bar. I'm sorry, this one right here. This is up here. You would have sold the open of this bar right here. You would have sold the open of that bar. So that one actually dropped. Let's just look at the bar. It had an open of 94.25 and a low of 79.25. So it dropped 15 points. So it dropped 60 ticks before it moved up. I mean, you'd have to manage your risk on that. Okay, you'd have to manage your risk on that one. This one right here, you would buy the open of the next bar. So you would have bought the open of that bar, made a bunch of ticks in that, then sold the open of that bar. This one right here, because it's oversold, you would have bought the open of this bar. Now this one right here with a 75 tick stop, I think that would have hit you right there. Okay, I don't think you would have stayed in with a 75. With 100 you would have stayed in, but a 75, I don't know. It's 42 down to 25. Just barely on 75. That's what, 17 points, 17 times 4. Just barely. But you move over this way. This one right here, you would have sold the open of the next bar. This one, you would have sold the open of the next bar. This one, you would have bought the open of the next bar. This one, you would have sold the open of the next bar. You see when it's going through the step line, out of the cover, you sell the open of the next bar. Through the step line, out of the cover, you sell the open of the next bar. Through the step line, out of the cover, you buy the open of the next bar. This one would have been close again with the 75. You see, Tanya? But that's it. It's really simple to see. We saw this one, the one right here at the very beginning. This one we saw set up. This is one right here. Okay, so right now, I don't have my DOM set up for 100 range, but my DOM is set up for a 39 range. But right here, and with the 39 range, my stop goes to plus 10 after 15 ticks. So my stop should actually be much further away than that. Oops, I think it just dumped me out. Yeah, it did. My stop should be much further away than that. If I'd have gotten in at the right time, I'll find out what I got on that in a minute, okay? And I'll add it to the totals, but I kind of screwed that one up. I shouldn't have taken that trade. You don't use a DOM, okay? So you do need the bigger things. You use that thing where you actually enter in the values, right? See my stop. If my stop was bigger on that, we would have just gotten our 100 ticks right there. So I kind of messed that one up pretty bad. But that's it. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like when it's happening. And right here, you almost have it going in the opposite direction right here. It's almost out of the cover. Right? That's not it right there. But if this would have gone up just a little higher, it would have come out of the cover and you would have sold the open of this bar. It would have gone up a little higher. You would have sold the open of that bar. But it didn't make it out of the cover. So, no deal. And now this is way up here, so you're not going to have a trade there. But that's it. That's how simple it is. Okay. Now, I am going to go... Where the heck is it? Here it is. Go see how bad I screwed up that trade. Okay, 9.5 points is what I lost on that trade. 9.5 points, that's 36, 37, 38 ticks. 38 ticks. And my stop was at 35, so I'll show you. Here. So it was basically just a regular stop out, but my stop, I should have gotten 100 ticks out of that. My stop was in the wrong place. For this right here. See, now we didn't make it out of the cover right there either, otherwise I'd be buying the open of this bar. If it made it out of the cover there, I'd be buying the open. Still tempting. Alright, so let me actually set up my bracket so it's right. Actually, let me just get off the 100 range, and then we can go look at a smaller time frame. You missed the settings. I covered, so you have to watch the replay. Or, Hal, you can just go out here to the Telegram channel and watch this. This is only 3 minutes long. I go through the settings in here, too. Okay, and I fixed it so that the default of the cover is 80% transparent. Okay. My what turns green at time? My mouse turns green at times? Is that what you said? Oh, you down here, you mean? This turns green at times? That's because it's part of... That's regular TV trades range trigger. You can just ignore the color on that. It's the location on that you're concerned with. It's not the color. Okay. So if we drop down to a little bit smaller time frame, it's going to be really fast. You know, a little bit smaller time frame, but we'll drop down to a 39 range because this is what my DOM is set up for right now. I have a 35 by 50 bracket on my DOM, and it's the same stuff in here, the same exact thing. You know, you don't have to change anything. Right here, you would have sold the open to that bar. Right here, no, that wasn't one. You remember, you want it to cross through. You want it to cross through the step line on the way to getting out of the cover. Okay, like right here, you would have sold the open to that bar. And just barely, you would have sold the open to that bar. And you want the step line to stay inside the cover. You want to stay covered. Sold the open to that bar. You see how simple this is? Sold the open of that bar. Bought the open of that bar. Sold the open of that bar. Bought the open of that bar. Sold the open of that bar. Bought the open of that bar. Sold the open of that bar. They're not all winners, obviously, but they're very good. And where's my DOM now? Okay, there. I just sold the open of that bar. Alright, and this is plus 10 that I'm at right here. And I'm just going to take a little more than plus 10 out of that. Okay. And now my stop goes to it goes to plus 10 after 15 ticks in profit, the way I have it set up. This is selling the open and it's at plus 10 right there. Okay, so I can go to another plus whatever. It's got a target of 50, and I don't know what I just got out of that. Let me go see what I got out of those last two, because I got to start keeping track of this. I did stop out on that first one, and now I've taken 3 trades. So today is, what, 2-4. 2-4. In the first one, I started out with a minus, what was it, 38, I think, right? And I don't know what I just got on those last two to make that up, but let's go see. That first one wasn't really a stop out. I mean, I'll leave the value in there. I don't really want to count it as a stop out, because if I'd have done it right, it wouldn't have been a stop out. It was a mistake, but let me go and see what I actually got on those last two. So that last one, we got 2 points, just 2 points. So that was 8. And the one before that, we got, I'm trying to see because there's a couple things in here that are canceled. The 57 got canceled. The one before that was 2.5 points is all I ended up getting. So I got 2 points and 2.5 points is all I got out of those. So 2 points is 8 and 2.5 is 10, so that's 18. So that brings us to minus 20. And over here, this is number of trades, right? Yeah, number of trades. Let's say 3. Number of stopouts. I'm going to say 0 because that first one would not have been a stopout if I had done it right. But I'll leave the stopout value in there. This should be a 39, right? Yeah, 39. Okay, so let's just get back in there. I wanted to keep track of that stuff. And now we're on the 39 range. Now, on top of my chart, I have green bars and red bars. This right here, this is the default in here. You should shut that off. If this is what you're going to be using, just come in here and shut off the bar color like that. Okay, I go through that in that 3-minute video, Wayne. Okay, you don't need to worry about the bar colors in this. Okay, you don't need to worry about the bar colors in this. And there was just a trade, well, I actually didn't hit it right there. Pretty close, but not quite. But this is a really, really simple trade setup for everybody to do. And the way you can, and you can, it kind of lends itself to over trading because it can go back and forth really quick. So that's another place where the range bands can come into play here. If the mid band is blue, you'd be looking at the long trades. If the mid band is red, you'd be looking at the short trades. You can limit yourself that way if you want to. If you go to a larger time frame, you don't really have to consider that. But if you're on a smaller time frame, then that's, you know, there's a chance you're going to be over trading on a smaller time frame. Is all I'm saying. Okay, so you got to be cognizant of that. Alright. So, can you make the black step line black? Can you make the black step line black? Can you make the step line black? You can. In here, I'll show you how to do that. It's right here. If you make all of these black, then that will be black. Like that. Okay? If you want that to be black, Paul. That's what you mean, right? If you're using the swing bands, no, leave the bar color off. You should leave these bar colors on the swing bands. If you're using the swing bands and these bar colors, then you need to leave these on. But those are turned on separately inside here. Inside the swing bands, that's these guys right here that turn those on. Alright. But the bar color, if you're using the swing bands, then shut the bar color off. Shut the bar color off down here in the trigger. Shut that bar color off. Okay. Okay. So there's another trade we just had right there. It just went to plus 10 ticks, and I think it just took me out with 10 ticks right there. I just did that one. I didn't get that one. This is not one right here, but let me just go make sure I got 10 ticks out of it. I don't know if I did. I got 9 ticks out of it. 74, 75 up to 76. Okay. Wasn't a great trade, but I can show you that. Here it was. Okay. Is this part of the swing trades? Mark. This is part of the trigger. Right? This is all within the trigger. We're getting there. We got a lot of time left, and we're not even close to the active trading part of this. Now, there was another thing that I wanted to show you guys. You can go like a 5 minute on this. Okay. Now let's get price off of here, so we're not looking at price. But look over here in the 5 minute. You're looking for the same things. Okay, you're looking for the same things in the 5 minute. Now the stop and target and all that, you're gonna have to work that out on your own. As far as the 5 minute stuff goes, the larger time frames like that, this might be what you were looking for. Cover it at 65 is what I have. 65 and minus 65, Darrow. But like right here, let me make it a different color. One of these. Okay, make it orange or something. Yellow. There. Okay, so this is using the time-based charts. Now you'll see that you don't get as many trades using the time-based charts because the step line gets out of the cover a lot more often. Okay, and the stop and target on that, you're gonna have to work that out on your own. I don't use time-based charts, but I just wanted to illustrate to you guys that you can if you wanted to. I know some of you guys are stuck in that mindset that time-based charts are the thing to use. And if that's all you've ever used, then that's all you're ever going to use, probably. No matter what I tell you and how much better I tell you the range bars are. Even if I show you again and again and again, the range bars are better. It's just what you're stuck with in your mind. But I just wanted to show you that this is on a 5 minute chart. Okay, and so in this one here, you would have been buying the open of the next bar right there. Right now, you shut the swing bands off again, so we're not looking at that. You've been buying the open of the next bar right there. This one you would have been buying the open of the next bar because it's down here at the bottom. Buying the open of the next bar. This one you would have been selling the open of the next bar. Look at that. This one right here you would have been buying the open of the next bar. That didn't go very far, but oh, anyway, this one right here you would have been buying the open of the next bar right there. And this one over here you've been buying the open of the next bar. I don't know when that was, right there. That was, all those were great trades. All of those were really good trades. And that's using a 5 minute. Okay, I mean, you can do it on whatever you want. I imagine you probably even do this on a daily chart if you wanted to. But like right here on the 30 minute, you would have sold the open of that bar. Right here on the 30 minute, you would have sold the open of that bar. Right here on the 30 minute, you would have sold the open of that bar. Those are huge moves. I mean, in this case here, you could, with the NQ, you could do things like trade options on this. Or if you go to the daily, you could trade options on that. You could trade the QQQ options based on this stuff. Do you guys understand that? I just kind of stepped over. I slid. I didn't mean to make that slide into the options conversation. But for those of you guys who understand options, having an indication that tells you that the next bar is going to go in the opposite direction is a pretty good thing. And like this one right here says the next bar is going to go down. And right there, at that moment in time, at this moment in time, when this 30-minute candle closed at 6:30 at night, well, whatever. When that one closed at 6:30 at night, you could have bought puts right there, right? And then when that candle closed, a half hour later, the market had gone from, the open of that was 426, the market had dropped down to 388. That's a significant move in a half an hour. And well, that you can't trade options at that time of the night, but if it were in a daytime, you'd be able to do that. But I'm just saying, having that information is good. And if we do go to a larger time frame, even larger than the 30 minute, if we do go to a daily, it works the same on all time frames. When it blows out of the cover and it goes through the step line coming out of the cover, like this one right here, I said the next bar is likely to move down. The next day is likely to be a big down day. This one said the next day is likely, well, the cover came out of it came out of the cover. There aren't too many of them though. This one right here said the next day is likely to be an up day. This one, that came out of the cover. That was no good. But this one right here said the next day is likely to be a big up day. You see what I mean? You can do it on all time frames. You know, I live in my little world here with range bars, and my little world works for me. I'm able to make money consistently doing this stuff in my little world. I think that's where we all want to be anyway, right? Daryl, I did answer your question, but I'll cover it again. I just shorted right there. Sorry, I just shorted right there, and it gave me 10 ticks. I'll show it to you in a second. I think it gave me 10 ticks, but there was actually a mistake right there. But it didn't go through the step line on the way up. It's still working out just fine, and you'll find that it does do that. I'll show you another thing in just a minute. But Daryl, I wanted to answer you first. Okay, when you put this thing on, when you put it on, you know, it's going to go on like this. Okay, and once you put in your password, you go to the style side, just turn on the cover, just check the cover, like that. Now yours won't be like that, yours will be like this. Right now. I'm using a different version than you have. Yours will be like that preset. Okay, and that's what you're looking for right there. Outside of that, the margin does change. How? You know, futures overnight. Usually, I don't know if this is still the case, but it used to be if you closed out your positions, you know, before 5 p.m. Eastern time, you could open them back up after 5 p.m. Eastern time, and it'd still be day trading margins. But if you held them between 5 and 6, then it rolls into full margins or nighttime margins. Really, maintenance margin is what it rolls into. Do you guys know the difference between that initial margin and maintenance margin? Daytime margins, all those different things. I can explain it to you in a nutshell if you want. But this is what it looks like, Daryl. Okay, and it's on this side. I think it shows it right here. 60 and 65 and minus 65 is the cover high and low right there. It's not really intuitive to have them in that order. I should probably flip them around. The cover high is above and the cover low is on the bottom. But that's all you have to do. Okay. And bars are mostly blue and sometimes green and then red. Yeah, you just gotta shut off the bar color. Okay. Now I was gonna go and look and see how much I got out of that last trade. It should have given me 10 ticks. And this one here just did the same thing. I just did the same thing on that one. So let me go and see. That last one, it was a sell, right? Yeah, it was a sell, the last one. And so that was 87.75 down to 74.75, and then this one was 76. Anyway, that was a sell and a sell. Oh wait, okay, I got it. Last one was 90. I got it all mixed up. 87.75 to 74.75, and then 74.75 to 76 is what just happened. So, that doesn't seem right either. So the last one was a short, and I don't know if it was from there or over here. It would have been here, so it would have been right here to sell the open of that bar. So it should have been 76 something. Unless I got it higher than that. I'm trying to figure out where I actually got filled on that. Because I should have had 2 10-tick trades is what it should have worked out to be. And I think one of them was more than 10 and one of them was a little less than 10. So, I don't know. I'm just going to call them 2 10-tick trades. For this. Let's see. 2 more was 20 ticks. That puts us at 9. And then over here, that puts us at 6. Okay, so now we're positive anyway. And this is not a trade here, but while I was trying to explain that, that happened. It's almost a trade, not quite. This could be a trade on a down close right here. This could be a trade. It could be a long trade. Okay, and if it is, I'll leave my down right over here, and if it is, we'll just take it. Okay. All right. Now, if I do take it, I am just going to click right here in the green, and it's going to be a limit order at the current ask, or current bid. I'm sorry. There it is. Okay. So I should have just gotten in. Oops. I think I'm in a couple of times. Okay. So after it goes 15 ticks into profit, it's going to bump my stop to plus 10. Now I think I screwed this up because I should have been in. I'm averaged at 63 something. Okay, so that's pretty close. I'm within a point, so that's pretty close. And I did click it twice. I have 20 of them on there. Okay, so you see they just both went. So I just got 10 ticks on both of those. Or roughly 10 ticks on both of those. 66.50 to 68.25, so it was 9 ticks on both of those. Actually, was it? Yeah, 9 ticks on both of those. Where is the step line located in the range trigger? I'll show you, Mark. Hang on. You're gonna have to refresh your charts. When I say refresh your charts, I mean you hit this thing right here. Hit refresh on that. Okay. Or you know what I can do? I'll go out here to this layout here, and I'll put it out here for you guys. Okay. Hang on. I got to put those two. Well, just one of those nines in here. Get 18 on that, and that puts us at 7. Okay. So in here, let me just get rid of this trigger because that's not the current one. Okay, I'm gonna leave the swing bands on there, and I'll just put the current TV trades range trigger in there for you. That is gonna be for you guys. It's that one. On this side and put it on there. Current TV trades range trigger is right there. Okay. So now, in here, you just have to put in the password and click on Display Synthetic Divergence Line, and then click over to the style. Change. Change this to a step line, and the barcode is going to turn on in a minute when I put the password in, but come down here and click on the cover. Okay, so the cover just turns on without the password. You can see that, and it turns on light. The other things, when I put the password in, they will all come to life, and I'm going to do it here on this one too. So in here you would click on Display Synthetic and go to Style, and the barcode is going to turn on, but I'll turn that off in a minute. Go down here and click on the cover, and yeah, and that's it. Okay, now give me just a sec, and that's it. That's all you have to do, and then it's all put together on your chart for you. Alright, so this is what it looks like here on this 100 range NQ, and this is what it looks like here. Now I'm going to save this layout here for you. Okay, and I am going to copy this layout. You guys can all open this layout up if you have access to the tools. If you have access to the tools, then just open this layout up, and it'll open right up for you with everything all set already. Okay, I just gave you the link to the layout. I'll stick that link out in the Telegram channel too. Okay, again, this Telegram channel, I don't know how to do this. Hang on. Okay, in the Telegram channel, it is the TV Trades Telegram channel. Okay, that link that I just put there for the layout, I'm going to stick in here for you too. So anybody that clicks on that link, if you have access to the tools, you just click on that link and it'll open up this webinar. This layout, and it's going to be a copy, so you have to click the word copy in the upper right hand corner. Now depending what version you have, you may have too many layouts already. If it tells you to upgrade, and when it tells you to upgrade, it'll tell you what version you currently have. If it's saying you have basic, then, well, let me show you what it looks like when it tells you to upgrade. If I go here like this, it should tell me to upgrade. There it is. Okay, so I have premium. But if it prompts you to upgrade, it's going to tell you what you have. If you have basic, then you can't open that layout. If you have essential, then you're going to have to, then you're going to have to go and delete some layouts. And to do that, you go to open layout like this and delete layouts that you're not using. Okay, I can have 100 of them, I think, or maybe 500 or something like that. But you got to go and delete layouts that you're not using, and then you'll be able to save it. Okay. All right. Does it work well on? Yeah, Daryl. It works on everything. Well, here's ES on a 9 range right now, but let's get rid of the swing bands. Okay, I've been so focused on the swing bands for the last month or so that I've, I get tunnel vision, right? And this is what it looks like on the ES, right? This is ES 9 range. You can do it on the 7 range, which is what I use in the morning. My DOM set up for 7 range, so why don't we just do it on the 7 range? Okay, so that's what my DOM set up for, and if we have a trade coming up, we'll take it. It's the same exact stuff. You're not doing anything different. Right here, if I slide this up, right here, you would buy the open to the next bar. Right there, you would sell the open to the next bar. Right there, you'd sell. That one went out of the cover. Right there, you'd sell the open to the next bar. Right there, you'd sell the open to the next bar. So if I highlight these for you, that one you sell the open to the next bar. That one you sell the open to the next bar. That one you sell the open to the next bar. There aren't a lot of buying the open to the next bar, are there? That one you buy the open to the next bar. Sell it. This is just barely hitting it right over here on the edge. Right there you'd sell it. Right here you'd buy it on this one right here. Buy it right there. That's just barely hitting it too. What I'm saying, when it's just barely hitting, it's like there. It's just skimming it. But here's one over here. This would be an obvious buy right there. Okay. So buy the open of that bar. You would buy the open of that bar, sell the open of that bar, sell the open of that bar, sell the open of that bar, buy the open of that bar, sell the open of that bar, sell the open of that bar. Yeah, kinda. That's what you want to see, Mark. Like it has a steeple. Like that. Right in there. Like this right here. Yes. How do you make the step line black? To make the step line black, you go in here, you change the R snipe right here, make all 3 of those black. Okay. That will make the step line black. I think if you come in here and you shut off that and that, does it do anything? Yeah, it leaves it on one kind of thing. You want to have that on anyway. Okay. There. Alright, well it's 3:16, so we still have plenty of time left to trade. Let me minimize this so we can have it going on a couple of different time frames here. I'm going to bump this back down to a 39 range. Okay, so we have some trades coming on both of these. And now, do you guys want me to focus on anything else in this session? Do you want to just watch this thing and trade it a little bit here while we can? Okay, I like trading too. So toward that end, there's a short right here. Okay, there's a short right here. This one right here just nicked it, and it came out the top. So there's a short right there that hasn't turned into anything yet. This is nothing over here on the NQ. And this is a 7 range, so my risk management is the same on a 7 range as it always is. Okay, the stop goes to break even after 4 ticks in profit, and it's got a 10 tick stop. And The NQ is a 39 range. Alright, my stop goes to break even. Well, my stop goes to plus 10 after 15 ticks in profit. It's got a 35 by 50 bracket. It's got a 35 tick stop and a 50 tick target. Okay, for the 39 range, that's what I'm using. And we're waiting for the ZS to come and give us a little something here. It hasn't done anything yet. See how Tesla came out right here, and that Tesla is from, I'm not exactly sure what I used to create that alert. I think it's the right on that stop us up. Okay, let me put the window on top. That way both of these. Okay, and now let me just go and enter that in. Here, 1 ES. Which one is ES? ES number of ticks. This is minus 10. And now we have our stop out. It's 8 and 1. Okay, we have a lot of time for trading in here, so that one little stop out doesn't bother me at all. This is actually a trade right there on the ES, a long trade. I think I'm trying to get it right there. I probably shouldn't have done that. And this is a long trade on the NQ too. Okay, the stop just went to break even. We're going to go to plus 4 on the ES, and that didn't go 15 ticks in profit yet, so the stop hasn't gone plus 10 yet. And we got out with 4 ticks there on the ES. I'm sorry, I'm just used to sliding my DOM over like that. So from 48.50, okay, I don't know what it just did right there. It should have bumped my stop up to break even. I don't know what it just did right there. But it should have bumped my stop up to break even. Let me go see what it actually did do. Okay. It was like I had another order on in there somehow. But we've got 4 ticks on the ES, right? You gotta go down to the bottom. I still have an order out there somewhere. Okay, I just canceled all the orders. Alright, the NQ went from 46 up to 49.75, so that gave me, I'll show it to you in a second. And the ES did give me 4 ticks. I'll show you both of those. Okay, I don't know what happened. It looked like something weird happened with the NQ. But this is the ES. It went from 18 to 19. And this is the NQ. We went from 46 to 49.75. So that's 15 ticks on the NQ and 4 ticks on the ES. Okay, so that's 15 there. That puts that at 33. And this at minus 6. And this at 10. Okay, so we're back in the positive again. But you see how easy it is, right? This is not a trade here. Let me see, we lost color right there for some reason, so let's just save that and we'll jump to a different time frame and back again. Well, I put some kind of indication on the bar that the div trade should be taken like an arrow or a dot. I can do that. I can do that if you want. Okay, there's another one here on the NQ. My stop's at plus 10 and it just took me out with 10. That was this one right here. Okay, and the ES is in one too, crap, I think. Isn't it? Am I along the ES? I am along the ES. I am along the ES right here. And there's 4 and 8 and 12. It was this one right here where I got long. Okay, so what did we just pick up? 12 on the ES, and what did we get over here? Do you remember? Yeah, I know, Dan. Well, you got to be careful for the overtrading. That's what I was telling you. That's what I was telling you. Okay, I thought I got more than that. We got the 12 ticks on the ES, but it's only showing It's only showing that I got 4 ticks on the NQ, so I'll put it in. This got 4, so that goes up to 37, and this actually goes to +6 now. And this goes to 12. There we go, that's a little better. And we're not even in the busy part yet. We still have a half an hour of trading left to go. This is just incredible. You know, the NQ's got another trade right here. The S does not. The S did have one right here a minute ago, but I didn't get it. The NQ, I just got the NQ. I'm sorry, it's already done its 10-tick thing, I think. And you just scroll down and see. 58.25 to 60.25. That's what we just got on the NQ. Okay. Now, here, I'll show you. There it is. So that was only 8 ticks. So I got 2 ticks of slip on that. But you see how simple it is, right? I mean, this is another one right here. I missed this one, but this is another one right here. And this is a 39 range. You don't, well, that's the thing. You know, when you don't have, if you're doing just one market, like let's say we're just doing one market like this, and the 39 is pretty fast, so it's not that fast. You know, it can be fast. It looks kind of fast. Kind of. But this is a short right here. I'm short right now on the NQ. It's not looking so good, but I'm short. And I don't think I have a very good fill on that. I fills it. Should have been at 77. I got filled 8 ticks lower than what I should have gotten filled at. So if I stop out, I stop out. It's got a 35 tick stop on it. And that would stink, but I think it's probably going to give us the 15 ticks. It bumps the stop to +10. And it's got to get down to, well, halfway down would be right about there. There it is. That's +10. So now we'll lock in. It's 14. You see how simple that was? That one didn't come out of the cover right there. There's now I made it like this. Oh, so you can see when it goes through the step and all that stuff. I guess I had to leave it like that. I was just gonna say this. You can do it so that you don't see everything that's going on in here, but you really kind of need to. Okay, and what did we just get on that? 14, right? 14, so that puts us at 59 now. And trade number 14. So we're now up 3,700 bucks in this session, even after I screwed up that first one for 39 ticks. And the S trade just happened. Well, it doesn't surprise me, but I wasn't looking at it right here. Yeah, the down close on that. I would have had my stop at break even if I had taken that right there. That one actually didn't hit right there, Wayne. You see, it didn't hit right there. And Sid, this is what you wanted to see, right? You want to see the smaller time frames. These, well, this is a smaller time frame on the ES. But if you want to see something slower, what do you want to see? Tell me a time frame you want to look at, and I'll be happy to go and look at it with you. Okay, give me something, a time frame in a market, and I'll be happy to go look at it with you. Okay. Okay, you're already happy. Alright, so this right here would have been another one on the NQ. I was looking away, I took a drink, but so you can see it just happens again. There's another one on the NQ. It just happens again and again and again. And you know, to stop from the over trading, which can easily happen, as you can see right now, it can easily happen. That's why I was saying, if you put the range bands back on and you trade in the direction of the bands, you know, like right now you'd only take long trades while the bands are blue. You only take long trades. And over here, while the bands are red, you'd only take short trades. Okay. And I know you guys are gonna, you know, you're gonna see things that look really appealing. Like if you go in here, let me show you. I mean, I've looked at all this stuff, and you can, I mean, you can all do whatever you want to do, of course. But this was something that we kind of looked at in the beginning. You know, of course, the red wasn't on top like that, but but when this came out like that, you know, you would short sell the open to the next bar. When it came out like that, you'd buy the open to the next bar. Came out like that, you sell the open to the next bar. Came out like that, you'd buy the open to the next bar. Basically like that, and that works great too. It does. You can do it however you want. You know, you can make this work any way you want to make it work. I just want to give you guys the best tools that I can come up with, because, you know, I'm constantly trying to come up with something better. Make money as fast as you can. This is a 200 range. A 200 range. So right there, we would have had 200 ticks in that bar. We would have had 200 ticks in that bar. It's just about there again. And this is in this session. You know, in this session since we started. Actually, it was at 14:19, so that wasn't really since we started. But since we started, we had one good one right there for a couple hundred ticks. The other stuff that I've been working on is the automated stuff, and this is going to play into the automated stuff for sure, because, you know, I can make this stuff work automatically, so you don't have to keep track of all the stuff that's going on down here. The problem is, this is actually an illusion, what you're seeing down here. I'll show you what I mean. It's an optical illusion. Bring this all the way down to 20, right? Now when it does this right here, it looks like it's actually crossing. It's crossing the step line, right? Right here, it looks like it's actually crossing the step line there. Looks like it's crossing the step line there. Looks like it's crossing it right there. It looks like that, right? I don't know how that's going to be implemented, Jeff, when it is. It might go through a total different business altogether. Because there may be other people involved in that. And so we'll see how that goes. But what I was trying to point out right here was this. You know, right here it looks like right there that it crossed it going out. It looks like right here that it crossed it going out. It looks like right here that it crossed it going out. And right here it looks like it crossed it. Right there it looks like it crossed it. Right there it crossed it. And right here it crossed it. But it's an illusion, you see. Oops, let me get rid of that guy. I'll show you what I mean. Come in here and we go back. This guy, we go back to a line. See, it never crossed it there. It never crossed it there. It did actually cross it there. It never crossed it there. It did actually cross it there. But it never crossed it there, it never crossed it there, it never crossed it there, it never crossed it there. So it's an illusion, you see. That's why the step line, it's important that you flip this to the step line, because that's what works. And Mark, do you only want to, I think Mark and Daryl just asked the same thing. Do you want the red line to leave the cover, but the blue line to stay in the cover? Yes, you and Mark are asking the same question. You want the red line to leave the cover and the blue line to stay in the cover. Yes, like this right here, you wouldn't want to do that. Right? This right here where the blue line stays in, that's okay. This right here where the blue line stays in, that's okay. But try and find one, a different one, where the blue line comes out and it actually breaks through the top at the same time. This one right here. You wouldn't want to do that one. I mean, it worked, but that's not what I'm looking for. The number of these that you have to rule out is so small, but the number of them that happen where it keeps going, that's enough to make you just not want to take that chance, like this one right here. See, it pulled back just a little bit and then it kept going. You know, you want it to to cross the step line when the step line is still inside here. Alright. Does that answer your question, Mark and Daryl? And Wayne, I think that answered your question too. Okay. So yeah, Tanya. Did you sign up again, Tanya? I know we had communicated over the weekend. I can't remember if you signed back up again or not. If you did, I'm sorry. It's been about 6 days since you signed up, and I haven't done anything. That's unusual. So you want the blue to stay in the blue area, and the red to pop out. You want the red to pop out, but you want the red to go through the blue on the way out. That's what you want, Mark. You want the red to go through the blue on the way out. Okay. And this is 100 range. So you want to go through the blue on the way out, like this right here. Through the blue on the way out, you sell the open to the next bar. Okay. Through the blue, right there on the way out, you sell the open to the next bar. See, that didn't go through it, so that doesn't count. Right here, this counts because the blue stayed in, so through the blue on the way out, so you buy the open to the next bar. I don't know what that looks like. It was right here. You buy the open to that bar. These are 100 range bars, so I mean there's 100 ticks from there to there. Can I show it on a 1 minute? Yeah, sure. Yes. I was actually trading it on a 30-second last night when the markets were closed, in the nighttime. So I mean, so it actually produces trades, because it has a new bar every 30 seconds. But now on the minute, the different time frames like this, you got to come up with your own stop and targets on that. But this is what it looks like, Larry, right here. Same stuff. Okay, you're looking for the same thing. It doesn't happen as often, but you're looking for the same thing. Right there. Sell the open to the next bar. Don't have any right there, but right here. Sell the open to the next bar. It just doesn't happen as often. Right here, you'd buy the open to the next bar. It's kind of one right there. No, I'm sorry, that was way outside. That's way outside. That missed it right there. I missed the corner. No, I pretty much had it right there. So you'd buy the open to that bar. And I know you guys are gonna, over time, I'm sure you guys are gonna come up with your own formulas for this, and you'll start moving things around and deciding that it works better this way or that way. But I'm just showing you. This works really well. Okay, here's one right here, Larry. Sell the open to the next bar, right there. This one right here, you'd buy the open to the next bar. I don't know what that looks like, but you'd buy the open to that bar. This one right here, you would have bought the open of this bar. Now buying the open of that bar, it's at 119.25, and the high of that bar, well, let's just look. The open was 119.75, and the high was 138.25. So you have 18 points there. That's a good chunk of money in a very small amount of time on a minute bar. So it's a minute is how long it takes. There's another one right here. That's not one, sorry, that's way outside. This one right here, you would have bought the open of the next bar right there. So in 1 minute, this is 1 minute bar, right? Yeah, so in 1 minute, this bar would have opened at 153.50 and had a high of 180.50. So that's what, 37 points. Let's just do the math on that. Let me bring up my trusty calculator. It's over here on the other monitor. 37 times 4, because they're points, times 5. $740 with one contract in that minute. Pretty good stuff, huh? Considering this only costs $25 a week to use. or less. $25 a week is the expensive one. That's the most expensive one. It's $25 a week. If you pay for the annual when it's on sale, you pay for the annual. It's only like $73 a week or something like $73 a month. It breaks down to whatever that is. $20-something a week. I don't know, what is that? Hang on, let me just bring up my handy calculator again. $8.97 divided by 52. $17.25 a week is what it comes out to when I have it on sale. And regularly, divide that by 52. $19.17 a week if you buy the annual. And the monthly. Monthly is $90 a month. But either way. Alright. So now I have 22 minutes left. I want to go back to the range bars because I'm not ready to determine what I should have for a stop or target on this stuff. I think my stop would have to be beyond the bar that got you into the trade, and the target would be beyond the bar that got you into the trade. So you basically want to mimic the bar that got you into the trade at least. Is what I'd be thinking, but then I don't trade like that. So I would have to really think it through a little bit before I did it. Alright. More questions? Anybody? Everybody? If you haven't taken a trial, go to tvtrades.com and sign up for the trial. Okay? Most of the people in here have taken the trial and are actually subscribed right now. But always trying to come up with the best new stuff to make money. Here's one right here on the Yankee. Excuse me. Okay, so it's got a 35 tick stop on it. It's all the way down there. And it's got to go 15 ticks into profit to bump the stop to plus 10. So there's the plus 10 right there. And now, I'm out with that. I got in on the pullback right on that one. But 10 more. Now, I don't have my bracket set up on this for this type of trade. Really, my bracket is set up for what I do in the morning. So the plus 10 is kind of a thing. Am I having a sale? I guess I could have a sale. If you guys are interested in signing up for the annual, then just send me an email. I'll give you the sale price on the annual. I wasn't really thinking about that, but since Paul asked. If you send me an email, just send it to support@targetvtrades.com, and I'll give you a link for the sale price on the annual, the $8.97 price on the annual, if you want. Okay, I hadn't really considered that, but I will. I was just telling what the prices were. Yeah, okay, Paul, I couldn't see your whole name. That's okay. You're not gonna be signing up for the annual. You might be. But the annual is normally $9.97. The sale price would be $8.97. So it works out to $17 a week or something like that. That's the sale price of the annual. Okay. The NQ's got another one right here. It's not looking so good right now, but we'll see when it's all done. I didn't notice the ES also has one here. Okay. The NQ, we're waiting for that to get to plus 15, and the ES is going to get to... What the heck happened with that? Okay. The ES is going to get to plus 4. I thought it already did. But alright, we might stop out on that. It is minus 35 right there. It didn't get down there yet, but it looks like it might. We're right at the midband. It could bounce off the midband right here. And I thought, okay, we did stop out on that one. And the S looks like it might stop out too. I thought the S had gone 4 ticks into profit, but it doesn't look like it's gonna. Who knows? It could come around. Right. And I'm not sure that wasn't a mistake. The S is starting to come around a little bit here. I gotta go put in that minus 35 on the NQ. Let me put this window on top. Always on top. And we'll go back in here. Minus 35. That kind of hurts. 35, so it's 34 is what I'm left with there. Okay, and that becomes 16. And that becomes, this is actually 3 now because I just stopped out on that ES. ES goes from 6 to minus 4. Okay, so I just put both of those stopouts in there. This becomes actually 17 now. I didn't count that. 17 with 3 stops. Alright, back here. So the ES, it was from right here. That was by the open of that bar. Right? Yeah, that's what I did. So that was a valid trade. I think. I think... Did I do that? No, I didn't do that. Okay, and this is not a trade here. Okay, so the ES was the last one that filled. Got all the way through. Right. No, I had an NQ trade. No, a buy. So, no, I'm sorry. That's all mixed up. Alright, so what we're looking for now on the ES, because this is where it is, it's not going to give us anything that we can do right here. And this isn't going to give us anything either right now. Okay. What's the email? Oh, you want to look at the YM, Kurt? Okay. The email is support@targetviewtrades.com. I have a YM DOM. Okay, duh. Well, it's no wonder that didn't look like it made any sense. Thank you. Thank you. It's no wonder that didn't look like it made any sense. Well, I stopped out on the YM, minus 10 ticks. Actually, it was minus 15 on the YM. Gosh, that's so dumb. I mean, let me get rid of the YM DOM, and I'll get rid of the Russell DOM too, so I don't make that mistake again. Thank you for pointing that out. I didn't even notice. You know, when I got in the trade, I just hit the green, or the red, or whatever direction it was going in. I didn't even look at the price. Okay. So, I guess I should fix that. It was a 15 tick stop on the YM. So it wasn't 10 on the ES. So the ES is still plus 6. And the YM, even though it was screwed up, is a minus 15. Okay. That was a mistake. Like the first trade I took, that's my second mistake that I've done in this session. Thanks for pointing that out, Kurt. You're always on top of things. I think that actually works out better for me, money-wise. Yes, I think it does. 15, 700, yeah, where it does, it's like $500 better. Alright, Jeff, we'll talk to you later. And so now we need, see, we're not going through anything here, we're not going to be going through anything here on both of these, so neither one of them is going to give us a trade right here. We do have the black arrow. That black arrow should work out. See, now I had said in the little video that I had made, I had said, you know, we'll work this stuff, this information, into the bands and stuff. But you see how there was no trade here saying there was going to be an immediate reversal on that? That's why I said that black arrow should work out, because there was nothing saying it should have an immediate reversal. Do you see how that works? Yeah, that was a little bit of a stretch there. And you just made 3 points. Excellent. Excellent, Tara. Alright, so we've really focused on this divergence thing this time. But I did say in the email that you never look at divergence the same way. And Jim, you picked up 47 ticks on that one. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, now make sure my DOMs are all right. Everything's good here. The ES has a long trade right here. No, it doesn't. I'm sorry, it doesn't. It didn't go through the blue. It didn't go through the blue. Okay. Well, glad I caught that. This white bar right here, it didn't go through the blue, so that white bar should work out pretty well. Okay. Now there's a chance here. Nope, it didn't happen. Didn't happen here either. The markets are slowing down right now. They usually, the last 10 minutes here, they'll probably speed up a little bit for us and give us some opportunity. You got the ES over here a minute ago. It was the same thing as the NQ. It didn't say there was going to be an immediate reversal. Okay. So this right here is an ES trade. Right there. It's an ES long trade. There it is. It's bouncing off the mid band. It's got a lot going for it. So does the NQ. Okay, so the ES just went to break even. I'll lock in 1 tick on that, since we got stopped out on the last one. And the NQ just gave me 10 ticks. Okay, I'll show you the NQ in a second. I think there's 4 on that. And okay. The NQ was the one that I wanted to show you here in a second. I'm not sure what I got on that, but it looked like I was going to get 10 ticks, and I didn't. I got 6 ticks on the NQ. Right, I got 4 on the ES and 6 on the NQ. Here, I'll show you. Here's the NQ one. And the S one. When you saw the S one, I thought I was going to get more than that on the ES. It just had a trade here that I missed for that down close. It's got a trade right here. The up close, I just missed that. Let me move it over and put these in. So we've got 4 on the ES, that brings that to 10. And what I say, 8 on this. And that brings that to 19 trades total. That's a lot of trades. Our percentage is much better now. And we only have 9 minutes left in here. I just missed a couple of trades. That wasn't one there, but that was one there that I missed. That was one there that I missed. And right now, neither one of them is going to give us a trade right now on the upside. I don't think. Alright. There's the black arrow. Hey. Now, that kind of scun right along the side of it right there on the NQ. Here it is. My stop's at plus 10. Stop's going plus more than 10. 36.25. Where am I in at? 33. Okay. Alright, that was 40 ticks. It was 10 points. 43 down to 33. I don't know what I actually got filled on though. It should have been pretty close to that. Yeah. It wasn't exactly that. That was 38. Oops. Yeah. That was 39, and it was 39 plus 38 is what it should be. Whatever that is. I don't feel like thinking right now. 77. this is 20. Alright, that's not a trade there. Nothing here, it all just fell apart right there. But you saw that right there, the black arrow. This is what I was saying earlier. If you get something that tells you you're going to have an immediate reversal, like that, it'll keep you out of those trades when you get in a strong trend. Okay. So that missed it right there on the blue. Normally you just go long right here, but it missed it right there on the blue. This hit it right here. I didn't notice it, but it hit it right there. So we had to get into that. But you see how this could lead to overtrading, right? So I would say find something and stick with it. Find one market that you want to do and stick with it. You don't need to do multiple markets with this. Find one market, one time frame where the stop is something that that you're comfortable with, and you can just trade this if you want to. And like Larry had said earlier, you can go to the minute time frames if you want to. If you want to go to those. Do we have any in here? This is kind of one right now, Larry, right here. Kinda. I think you would have bought the open of that bar right there, I think. It's not ideal. So I like to see it coming through the blue from up here, going through the blue up there. But go back to my 39 range on this and see if we get anything else. So we're running out of time. It's 3:54, so we only have about 6 minutes left. And this did not go through the blue. This did not go through the blue. They both worked out great, but neither one of them did it. That one there did go through the blue on the NQ, and I think it gave me something and then took it right away. I think I lost 35 ticks on that. I'll go check in a second though. Hang on a sec. Okay. Because I'm in the long right there too. And okay, let me go check the 35 because I got 10 on the long right there. Let me check the 35. Stop out there. NQ. So what was that? I was just checking to see that it was 35 and not more. I'm just gonna say 35. We're running out of time. So minus that 35, that put that in. 77 minus 35, that'd be 42, and then plus 10. Oops, this would be 52. Okay, and this ends up being 22, and this ends up being 4. Okay, back in here, see if we have any more. Alright, nice purple one right there, that was sweet. And this one right here, again, it said it was going to have an immediate reversal, right? This one said it was going to have an immediate reversal. That one said immediate reversal. You see that? So in that last NQ, the divergence said to go short, but the black swing said to go long. Yes, this last one right here. And the divergence said to go short, but the black swing said to go long. Right here, it said to go long. The swing right there said to go long, and the divergence said to go short. Right here, the divergence said to go short. This one right here, the same thing. The swing said to go long, the divergence said to go short. So that's what I was saying, Scott. When you see that, that's one way to stay out of these trades that are in a strong trend. We would have stopped out on both of those. Now, I don't know if I have the filter on this one. I don't have the filter on this version right here. But they might have gotten filtered out with the filter that I put on it last week, too. I don't know. I don't have the filter on this version that I'm running right here. Where are we on the session right now? Wednesday totals, we're up 3,100. 22 trades with 4 stopouts. 81% of our trades are break even or better. It's okay. It's not horrible. We were better off than that at one point, I think. But we did have a few stopouts. 35 tick stopouts. Those are not small stopouts. It was one stopout on the YM that was 15 ticks, but 3 stopouts here that were 35 or more. Those significant stopouts. Let's see. We don't have anything here right at the moment on either one of these. And I have my ES, my NQ DOMs. Ready. Nothing there. A down close on this, I think. I'm not sure. We're going to see what it looks like on a down close. See that one? It got outside it right there. I don't know what either one of these is going to look like. The up close right there. Could sell the NQ right there, I think. The up close right there on the S. This is a sell too. So here's the S sell. I was able to get that one on. The NQ one went too far already. That just went to break even on me. And now we're going to lock in 1 tick on that. And we're out with just 1. Yes, it does, Scott. That's what I was saying. And when I made the video earlier today, that 3-minute video that's out in the Telegram channel, I had said, you can use this. I had done it without the range bars, but I said you'd be able to use this with the range bars, in conjunction with the range bars, and I said I'll get into that later. That's how you can stay out of these right here. You can see if you're due to have an immediate reversal right there. I got 1 tick on the ES trade, right? That goes to 11. That goes to 22. What time is it? 3:59. Do we have anything else that we can do right here? Oh, there was just one right there on the NQ. The markets are closing, so it's kind of hard to trade this right now. But, yeah. I thought I put one on the NQ. I don't know where the NQ is now. It didn't fill. I guess this is it. We're going to wrap it up, guys. I guess this way. I had a bunch of trades. I think I've shown how you can see this coming and how you can use it. You don't need to trade multiple markets. Try to not overtrade with this if you can help it. There is going to be a ton of opportunity. I would say you could start out with the micros just to get the mechanics right. Okay, you can make a bunch of money with this. This is good stuff. Yes, I just took that ES trade a second ago. It just gave me a break even. Finally just got the break even for me. Put that in. One more trade. It was an ES. So this becomes a 24. No change overall. Again, if you haven't taken the free trial, go to tvtrades.com. Just sign up for the trial there. tv-trades.com. Sign up for the trial there. This was another trade right there a second ago. This is a trade right... No, that's not a trade. This is a trade. What market is on? That's CS. That would have been a trade right there from the open of that bar right there. Would have been a trade. And see, that just happened again and again and again. There's another one right here on the S all along. Here, I'm going to look in 4 on that one. And see, it could go 20, but there's another one right there. 4. There was one over here, a short right there on the NQ. It's just, they keep going and going and going. It's 4 more in the S. And 25 trades in this session. Wow. Okay, so this is how we're going to wrap up the session. Let's just finish this off. Today is the 4th day of February 2026. We're up 52 ticks on the NQ. We're minus 15 on the YM, plus 15 on the S. So $3,725 or $372.50 with 1 contract. $3,725 with 10. 25 trades with 4 stopouts, so 84% of our trades were break even or better. And this is where we are on, since I started doing the Wednesdays. We're averaging in the Wednesday sessions with 1 contract, we're averaging $446 just in these sessions. with 10 contracts, 4,464. So obviously every one of these sessions pays for about 4 or 5 years of the annual if you have 10 contracts on. But yeah, this is pretty good stuff. I'm always going to keep trying to make things better because I trade for a living, and the more money I can make, the more money you can make. That's the way it works out. All right, let me stop the recording.